Number 4. Now this is a much more traditional version of the girl gets possessed after playing with ghosts story, but that doesn't mean it's any less terrifying. Like, if anything, I think it's a little bit worse actually, because the way the family reacts to their kid being possessed is super extreme. I mean, sure, she's stumbling around like a ghost and occasionally screaming and writhing around, but the adults decide to straight up chain her to the wall, which seems like they're going a bit too far. I don't know though, I mean, what do you guys think? What would you do if a kid you knew was suddenly speaking like the devil and clearly wasn't being themselves? I think chaining them to a wall with just the mattress to sleep on is a little bit crazy, but let me know what you guys would do in the comment section below. Anyway, this is a good video to convince anyone not to play with Ouija boards, because even if you don't get possessed, somebody might think you were and decide to handcuff you to a wall just to be safe. Number 3. Not much is creepier than that one kid who manages to contact the dead, but when a whole group of friends manage it, it's obviously going to be more extreme. Like, it could obviously just be a group hysteria, but I've got to admit the way these guys are acting is pretty crazy. I mean, they're rolling around, screaming and speaking in tongues, and even fainting because of what they've just done. Basically, they downloaded a Ouija board app on their phone and decided to play it in class, and when the side effects kicked in, they literally had to be carried outside by their classmates. It's pretty disturbing, especially since they have no control over what's going on, and all of the crowds and attention is probably just making it worse. Still, there is one thing that is totally creepy about this whole situation, and that's that one of the kids kept screaming, "The devil is going to take me," over and over again as he was being carried away. Even the hospital apparently couldn't do anything for the kids and they had to be taken to church, which probably means whatever was wrong with them wasn't something a doctor could fix. Number 2. So I guess this story kind of has a happy ending, but if I'm honest, I don't think that makes it any less traumatizing. Like, sure, by the end of this the girls are no longer possessed and they agree to serve Jesus instead of Satan, but what happened to them isn't exactly something they can forget. I mean, this group of friends were all playing with a Ouija board when one of them started vomiting and crying uncontrollably, and an exorcist had to be called to cast the demon out of her. Thankfully, whatever they did worked, but the whole friend group was basically in shock and they kind of had to promise to gather souls for the church instead of for the devil, which seems kind of weird to me. Anyway, everything seemed to work out in the end, and of course the kids involved promised to never play with satanic games ever again.
Calero Jiménez, de 13 años, a orar por ella y ayudarle a expulsar los espíritus malignos que la atormentaban.
Fuego del Espíritu Santo, en el nombre de Jesús. Viene para arriba ahora, viene para arriba, viene para arriba ahora. Ahora. Suéltala ahora en el nombre de Jesús. A liberarme, Señor. A liberarme. Soy libre. En el nombre de Jesús. Señor Jesús. Sé que me has perdonado.
Number 1. Now when you think about people messing around with Ouija boards and getting themselves possessed, you probably automatically think of children, but it turns out fully grown adults can be that stupid sometimes too. I mean, these three were in their 20s and 30s and still got taken to the hospital after playing with the devil's board, and the side effects were pretty awful too. Like, all three of them started complaining about double vision and having trouble breathing, and they even started hallucinating, but it doesn't stop there. One of them went into a trance and started growling at people, but their neighborhood exorcist wouldn't take a look because the three of them didn't go to church often enough. Seems pretty harsh, right? Well, yeah, but the church legitimately refused to see them, so they had to go to the hospital instead. Thankfully, that worked and the three Americans got better, but the doctor refused to say whether they were literally possessed or that the people just may have thought they were possessed, so I guess we'll never know.
Oye, venme. Duérmase ya. Sandra, ¿no estás cansada? ¿De qué te ríes?
Vamos a morir.
¿Y por qué te vas a morir?